What if the thing quietly stealing your strength after 50 was never your age at all? What if it's just one thing missing from your plate and the food that could build you back has been sitting in your own kitchen the whole time? I mean that, friend. Sit with me a minute. The modern world did something strange to the way we eat. It filled the shelves with boxes and powders and things that promise the moon and give back next to nothing. Worse than that, it taught us to be scared of good, honest food. The very same food that kept our grandparents strong into their 80s. Working, lifting grandchildren, standing tall at the supper table. The answer was never new, you see. It was old. It was here all along. So today, I want to walk you through 20 protein foods that rebuild aging muscle after 50, ranked from good all the way up to, well, downright incredible. Some you've already got in the pantry. A few are going to surprise you, and 2 of them I'll tell you about right now so you'll stay. There's one tiny fish, small enough to sit in the palm of your hand, that carries more muscle-building strength than a slab of steak. I'll show you right where it lands, about halfway through. And the number 1 food on this whole list? A doctor may have once told you to throw it away. I'm serious. The truth about it turned my head clean around. If you love food that heals the plain, honest way it was meant to, do an old man a kindness and subscribe. Costs you nothing. Keeps these lists coming your way every week. Now, here's why this matters more than nearly anything at our age. Somewhere after 50, the body starts doing something quiet and unfair. Every year, a little muscle slips away. A little strength. A little steadiness. You feel it the day the grocery bag feels heavier than it used to. You feel it when getting up from a chair needs a small push it never needed before. There's a name the doctors use for it, but the name matters far less than the fact of it. And the fact is this: muscle is the armor of old age. It keeps you upright. It keeps you living in your own home on your own terms. It's what saves you the day your foot catches the edge of a rug. Here's the good part, though. Muscle isn't gone for good. Not even close. The body will build it back at any age, but only if you give it the one thing it's made from: protein. Not a supplement, not a shake with a label you can't pronounce. Real food. The kind your grandmother would know on sight. So let's start. Number 20. Number 20 is peanut butter, the old pantry friend. You know this jar. It's been in the back of every American cupboard since before you and I were tall enough to reach the shelf. The old-timers spread it thick on brown bread, called it a working man's lunch, and they weren't the least bit wrong. Here's what science says now. 2 honest tablespoons carry about 8 grams of protein, with niacin and good fat to help your body use it. On its own, it's not complete, which is why it sits at 20, but put it on whole grain bread and it rounds out into real fuel. Studies have tied a daily bit of nuts to better held muscle in older folks. Buy the honest kind, the one whose label reads peanuts and salt and nothing else. Spread it on toast in the morning. You've started the day with strength instead of sugar. Now, before we take one more step, let me say something plain, and I'll only say it the once. I'm not a doctor. Nothing here is a prescription, and nothing here is a cure. It's food. Good food, meant to sit beside the care your own physician gives you. Please talk to your doctor before you make any big change, especially if you take medicine. And because today is all about protein, one gentle word more. If your kidneys give you any trouble at all, protein is something your doctor has to guide you on, personally. Promise me you'll ask them first. That's it. That's the only time I'll say it. Let's go on. Number 19 is green peas, the sweet little protein pearls. Do you remember shelling peas on the back porch? The bowl in your lap, the pods snapping open one after another, that green smell on your fingers. The old folks grew whole rows of them because they knew a garden pea was more than a side dish. Science agrees. 1 cup gives you close to 8 grams of protein and a good dose of lysine, the very thing most plant foods run short on. Research keeps linking that quiet, steady protein to holding on to lean muscle as we age. Toss a scoop of frozen peas into soups, stews, a skillet of rice, They keep for months. They cost almost nothing. Small, green, and quietly strong. A lot like the folks who used to grow them. Number 18 is oats, the quiet morning workhorse. There's a smell that takes you straight back, isn't there? A pot of oats on a cold morning, steam on the window, the whole house waking up slow. Our grandparents started hard days on that bowl and outworked men half their age. Here's the science. A cup of dry oats holds about 11 grams of protein and a special fiber called beta-glucan. Research keeps tying oats to staying full longer and to a healthy, steady weight. And steady weight is what protects your muscle. Soak them overnight with a little milk, and they're ready before you are. Stir in seeds or a spoon of nut butter, and a humble bowl turns into something that builds you. Number 17 is lentils, the humble champion. When money was tight, the old-timers reached for a bag of lentils and made a pot of stew that fed the whole family 2 days running. They never knew they were eating one of the finest plant proteins on this earth. They just knew it kept them going. And the science is something. One cooked cup carries a remarkable 18 grams of protein, with folate and iron beside it. That mix has been tied to real muscle recovery, most of all in folks who don't eat much meat. Rinse them, simmer them 20 minutes, no soaking needed. A bowl of lentil soup on a Sunday is old wisdom and good medicine, both at once. Number 16 is black beans, the steady old reliable. Picture the pot on the back of the stove. Cooking low and slow the whole day long, that deep, earthy smell filling every corner of the kitchen. That pot fed generations, and it never once let them down. The science stands right behind the old ways. A cup gives you about 15 grams of protein and a heavy dose of fiber that studies suggest helps keep already healthy blood sugar on an even keel. Steady blood sugar means steady energy, and energy is how you keep moving. Buy them canned to save the time. Just rinse them well first. Spoon them over rice and you've made a complete protein, the way wise and thrifty people have done for centuries. Number 15 is chickpeas, the roundabout powerhouse. Some of you remember these roasted, crisp, and salted, carried in a coat pocket like little treasures. The old world ran on the chickpea long before it was ever fashionable. And it's generous. A cup delivers around 15 grams of protein, plus manganese, the mineral your body leans on to turn food into lasting energy. Research keeps linking that slow fuel to the kind of endurance that doesn't quit on you by mid-afternoon. Roast a can of them in a dry pan till they crackle and pop, sprinkle a little salt, and you've got a crunchy snack that builds you up instead of wearing you down. Number 14 is almonds, a handful of quiet strength. My grandfather kept a small bag of these in his coat pocket. Anytime the day ran long, he'd reach in for a handful and carry right on. He never once called it protein, he called it keeping his strength. And science agrees with the old man. An ounce carries about 6 grams of protein with vitamin E and magnesium, two things an aging muscle and an aging heart both quietly lean on. Research keeps linking a daily handful of nuts to stronger muscle and a healthier heart. Keep a small bowl out where your eye can find it. A handful in the afternoon, and you fed yourself honest strength instead of empty sugar. Number 13 is pumpkin seeds, the little green engines. Remember scooping out the pumpkin at the kitchen table? Saving the seeds, roasting them till the whole house smelled of autumn? For years we threw away the best of it and ate the shell. The old-timers knew better. Here's the science. Just 1 ounce holds around 7 grams of protein with zinc and magnesium, and that magnesium has been tied to muscle recovery and a deeper night's sleep both. Strength, it turns out, gets built while you rest. Sprinkle them over yogurt or a salad. Green, small, and a good deal mightier than they look. Number 12 is quinoa, the ancient grain that eats like meat. High in the mountains, people ate this little grain to climb steep trails all day and never tire. They called it sacred. They weren't far wrong. Now here's the special part. Quinoa is a complete protein, all 9 essential amino acids, something almost no plant food can claim. Studies suggest it's one of the finest stand-ins for meat an older body can lean on, right when the appetite for heavy meat starts to fade. Rinse it, then simmer it just like rice. 15 minutes and it's done. A grain that works like meat. The old world knew a good thing when it found one. Number 11 is edamame, the young green bean with a grown man's strength. These young soybeans have fed strong, long-living people for more generations than we could ever count. Simple, green, picked young, and quietly powerful. The science is something to see. 1 cup carries close to 17 grams of protein, along with plant compounds that support already healthy muscle and bone. Research keeps linking them to holding your strength as the years pile up. Buy them frozen, steam them a few minutes, a little salt, and pop them straight from the pod. A snack and a muscle builder in the very same handful. Number 10 is tofu, the soft block that fools everybody. I know, believe me, I fought this one for years myself. It looks like nothing on the plate. But some of the strongest, longest living people on this earth have leaned on it their whole lives. And here's what science says. Half a cup carries about 10 grams of protein and a good measure of calcium, muscle and bone in one soft, humble block. Research keeps linking it to held muscle in older folks who eat it often. Here's the secret, friend. Tofu tastes like whatever you cook it with. Press the water out, cube it, brown it in a hot, dry pan till the edges go crisp, then drop it into any soup or skillet. Don't judge it till you've cooked it right. Now, do me one small kindness before we go on. If a single food on this list has been useful to you so far, tap that like button. Tiny thing, takes a second, and it helps this old channel reach one more person who needs to hear it. Consider it done, between friends. Number 9 is sardines, and here at last is the very food I promised you at the start. The tiny fish that outmuscles the steak. Remember the old-timer who always had that flat little tin in the cupboard? People chuckled at it. They shouldn't have. Because here's the science, and it's remarkable. 1 small tin gives you around 23 grams of protein, as much as a cut of steak, with vitamin D, omega-3 fats, and calcium you can actually eat, since the little bones go soft and go right down. Muscle and bone strength, in one $3 tin. Studies suggest very few foods on Earth carry that pairing. Buy them packed in olive oil or in water. Mash them onto whole grain toast with a squeeze of lemon. Don't let the size fool you, dear friend. This little fish is a giant. Number 8 is chicken breast, the dependable standby, the Sunday chicken. Is there a more familiar smell in an American kitchen? It called the family to the table for 100 years, and it earned its seat. Here's the science. 3 ounces carry about 26 grams of high-quality protein, with niacin for steady energy beside it. It's been tied, over and over, to building lean muscle well, which is just exactly what an aging body is asking for. Poach a few breasts at the start of the week, keep them cold in the icebox. Slice them over salads, warm them into soups. Simple, dependable, never lets you down. Number 7 is turkey, the lean, gentle giant. You don't need a holiday for it, though the old folks saved it for the big day and made it feel like a blessing. Lean, mild, and quietly mighty. The science holds. 3 ounces give you close to 25 grams of protein and a good dose of selenium, which supports an already healthy body's defenses. That protein keeps your muscle repairing day after quiet day. Ground turkey is your friend. Brown it in a skillet for chili, for meatballs, for a fast supper on a tired night. All the strength of the holiday bird, any evening you please. Number 6 is lean beef, the old Sunday strength. I can still see my father carving a beef roast at the head of the table, the whole family leaning in close. That meal meant something. Turns out it was doing something too. Here's the science. Lean beef is rich in protein, in iron your blood takes up with ease, in vitamin B12, and in leucine, the one amino acid that flips the switch on building muscle. Research keeps linking leucine-rich food to slowing the muscle loss that creeps in after 50. Choose the leaner cuts. Keep the portion to about the size of your palm. Set it beside a mountain of vegetables. Old Sunday strength, done wisely. Number 5 is shrimp, the little pink surprise. At the summer gatherings of my boyhood, there was always a big pot of these, and we'd peel them by the handful, laughing. We thought it was a treat. We didn't know it was near enough medicine. Here's the science. 3 ounces carry around 20 grams of protein with almost no fat, and B12 for a sharp mind. Studies suggest that lean, easy-to-digest protein is a real gift for an older body that started to struggle with heavier meat. Buy them frozen, thaw them under cool water, and they cook in 3 minutes flat. Toss them into anything at all. A little pink surprise, sure enough. Number 4 is salmon, the rich pink muscle builder. The old fishermen smoked it over a low fire and swore by it, and men like that had a way of staying strong and clear-eyed deep into old age. The science tells us why. Salmon carries about 22 grams of protein a serving, with omega-3 fats and vitamin D alongside. That rare pairing has been tied to calmer inflammation and better held muscle as the years roll on. It feeds the muscle and settles the body, both at once. Bake a fillet with a little lemon and salt, 12 minutes in a warm oven. Even a can of salmon does the honest job on a busy day. Rich, pink, and full of quiet power. Number 3 is Greek yogurt, the thick, creamy strongman. My grandmother made her own, thick enough to stand a spoon straight up in it, and she ate a bowl near enough every day of her long life. She was on to something. Here's the science. 1 cup carries 17 to 20 grams of protein with calcium for the bones, probiotics for the gut, and leucine to spark the muscle. Research keeps linking that whole package to stronger muscle and a healthier gut, walking hand in hand. Choose the plain kind and sweeten it yourself, a handful of berries, a thin drizzle of honey. Leave the sugary fruit cups on the shelf. Thick, creamy, and stronger than it looks. Number 2 is cottage cheese, the bedtime muscle food. This is the one your grandmother kept in the icebox and ate from a little bowl before bed. She called it a habit. Science calls it wisdom. Here's why. Cottage cheese is rich in casein, a slow protein that feeds your muscle gently, right through the night, while you sleep. A cup carries about 25 grams of it, leucine and all. Studies suggest a slow protein at bedtime helps an aging body mend its muscle in the very hours it does its deepest healing. A small bowl an hour before bed with a few berries or a scatter of those pumpkin seeds, you'll rebuild yourself in your sleep. Which brings us, at long last, to number 1. Number 1, the most incredible protein food of them all, is the plain, honest egg. The perfect protein we were taught to fear. And here's the twist I promised you. For years, for decades, we were told to be afraid of it. Throw out the yolk, they said, it'll clog your heart. A whole generation ate sad, pale egg whites and felt righteous doing it. Well, friend, science has walked all of that back. The research now says that for most healthy people, the egg was never the villain at all. We feared the wrong thing the whole time. Because look at what it truly is. The egg is the gold standard of protein, so complete the scientists measure every other food against it. Every essential amino acid in the perfect balance. It's rich in leucine to build the muscle, and in choline, which research keeps tying to a sharp, healthy memory. 2 of them carry about 13 grams of the finest protein you can eat, yolk and all, for around 50 cents. Soft-boil them. Scramble them in a little butter. Fry them in a warm pan, the edges going lacy and golden. However you love them best. The old-timers ate them every single morning and never gave it a moment's thought. They had it right the whole time. So let's look back at what we've gathered, friend. A spoon of peanut butter and a bowl of oats to open the day. A handful of seeds, a pot of lentils, a cup of slow-cooked beans, a tin of small fish that outmuscles the steak, a palm of lean beef, a pink fillet of salmon, a thick bowl of yogurt, a little dish of cottage cheese before bed, and 1 plain, honest egg at dawn. Not a powder among them. Not one single thing your grandmother wouldn't know on sight. Now, I'd truly love to hear from you. Which one surprised you the most? Was it the little tin of sardines? Was it the egg you were once told to throw away? Tell me down in the comments. I read every single one, and I answer as many as these old hands can manage. And here's your one job, the only one I'll give you. Don't go trying to do all 20 at once. Just pick one. Start with a single change tomorrow morning. 1 egg, 1 bowl of yogurt, 1 small handful of almonds. One honest change, held steady, becomes the strength you'll thank yourself for a year from now. You were made to be strong, right into your final chapter. That was always the design. So eat well, stay strong, and take very good care of yourself, dear friend. I'll see you in the next one.